veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, 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 la 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 la. La 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 la. I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, 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 la 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 la. La 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 la. 6 a.m. and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, 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 la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, oh. veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. La, 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 la. Oh, oh, oh. 6 a.m. and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. La, 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 la. Oh, 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 la, 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 la. La, 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 la. Oh, oh. 'Ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. La, 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 la. Oh, oh, oh. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. La, 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 la. Oh, oh, oh. I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. La, 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 la. I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. La, 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 la. Man, I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw.
Yes, good people, big up to all of you, and once again, welcome to another edition of the Blue Morning Show. I do hope you're all doing well. Apologies, our schedule of late has been everywhere, but that's because I'm not going to be too specific. I'm in the process of moving, so it's been difficult a lot. But we'll get there. Until I'm fully settled after everything, that's when we have a steady schedule. But I'll still try the best I can with the team, people I have working with me, like Tabeo and the others, to ensure that we do our best to keep you entertained while the process is going on. We will start. Not too many news items, not any actually, but there are some interesting stuff out there that we can look at to that I believe lots of you will be interested in. So we'll look at those things, and then we'll go into the discussion on whether the club should sign Victor Osimhen, Victor Boniface, Victor Gyökeres, or Jhon Durán. Three Victors and one Jhon. We'll talk about them or whether we should even be considering going for another attacker. For me, I'll let my opinion know very soon. But more importantly, I do hope you're all doing well, and I appreciate you all finding the time to join me this particular morning. I'm going to try to open the presentation window. It looks like not quite ready yet. Just give me 1 second here. But while you wait for me to do that, please go ahead, keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. For those of you that are for, we have 18 people right now, 14 on X, 4 on YouTube. If you're following the show on X, kindly do us a favor, drop a like on the video, share the video, and also do follow our X account to help us reach 5,000 followers as soon as possible. And on YouTube, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream, and also do subscribe to our channel. If you haven't, we sincerely do appreciate your support. We're getting closer and closer to 24,000 subscribers. Hopefully, we get that as soon as possible. Let me see what else we have here. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? Let's go like this. I think I prefer the presentation window like this. I want to start by, and we will start by looking at some, not really news items, some interesting stuff that I promise you that I believe you'd be interested in. And after that, maybe um, we go through you could say we go news hunting on Vincent's wall. My bro and friend, I respect him a lot. No egos from him. He respects even the smaller accounts as long as you've proven that you interact with this content and everything. So the first item right off the bat on Vince's timeline. I don't know why. Almost always what comes to mind is wall. That's because I used Facebook quite a lot before I had issues with them. So highest aggregate transfer value of players owned. Real Madrid is at 170. Is that how much is that? Okay, 100 is that point eight? I'm not sure how to read that. Or is that in billions? I'm not sure. Okay, I'm just gonna go with this. At the very top, the number one is Real Madrid. Number two, Chelsea. I think is that missing points there? I'm guessing 172.8. I'm not sure that's not correct, or is it? I'm quite sure I'm not losing it here, but that's by the way. In first place is Real Madrid. In second place is Manchester City. In third place is Chelsea. Fourth Arsenal. Fifth Barcelona. And we're gonna stop in sixth place. Um, um, Liverpool FC. I'm not sure how to interpret this, but it's something interesting. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. Anything interesting here? This is Vince quoting Fabrizio Romano here. I am told that Maresca is having a very good impact on these players on the tactical point of view, and also the result of that. The result of that have clearly been good. But most importantly, is the feeling he created with the players that they are always happy with Maresca. Quite clear there. They speak very highly of him. And in most cases, I'd say unfairly mentioning the difference between his reign or maybe how you could say his measuring, you can say comparing him with our ex in Mauricio Pochettino, if that makes sense. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. The only person that we have just one comment in the comment section or in the chat section, and it's from Nemar Fawale, who's saying he would take a Duran. I don't think we actually we needed to sign any. We don't need to sign a number 9 right now, but that's just my opinion anyway. I prefer a more fluid approach. In Duran, you can still achieve that, but other strikers that were being linked with, there are more leaning more towards a traditional side of things of the striking approach. Maybe I don't think they fit the manager's approach. But again, I'm going to go back to letting you know that's just my opinion anyway. Chances are the manager's willing to accommodate a traditional number 9, but you don't pay that much money to a number 9 that you get to use you get to use only you can say in certain games and not uh for instance, my point is you don't pay something north of 70 million pounds, then you get to use that player in just in certain games and not play them week in week out. It just doesn't make sense. And Maresca, if you've seen his approach, we're seeing it up close. You'd argue that you could say he'd more that more the hybrid number nines would be more suitable to the way the man likes to approach the game. But that's, by the way, just give me 1 second. Yeah, I just wanted to take care of something quickly. All right, let's do this. All right, there you go. So what is Riyadh Air Metropolitano Stadium? Okay, how does that sound? What is it saying? I think this. I need to see the some. This is probably a follow up report, or maybe um, let me see. It just doesn't make sense now because it's on its own. And here we have Don Hutchinson backs at Chelsea to finish fourth in the Premier League this season. That's the first time seeing. Interesting. I can't just pretend I know the person. I don't know the person in question. Let me be honest there. Give me 1 second. Sorry, it's gone blank. I just hold on a bit while it's still loading. I'm gonna put this up there and try to share the link to see if we can get more people to join. All right, give me 1 second here. All right, we have this guy. I'm gonna go with this guy here. But while you wait for me, please keep dropping the like on the stream. The likes that do go a long way. Sincerely do appreciate that. All right, let's see here. I'll be with you in just about a second. All right, that's the one I'm looking for. And in a bit, I will share the link. Um, in the chat section, so that if you want to come up here and give us your 2 cents, go ahead. It's a calling show after all. So that I haven't told you that. So let's go back to Vincent's timeline. Why is it taking too much time to load? I don't think I have the time for that. But if you're in the chat section, if you have any questions, drop it and I'll try to address it. I'm not sure why I'm finding it difficult to make sense of this. Highest aggregate transfer value. If you have the currency sign there, then I don't know why this is 1724. I think there should have been a dot there, 172 maybe. I'm not sure how to interpret that. I'm sorry. What else do we have here? Nothing out there, but sorry, this is it's stuck for some reason. I don't know why. The app has become a bit crazy. And we have okay, finally we have another person in the chat. But keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes that do go along. We appreciate you all. And if you have any questions, drop it in the chat. And in a bit, I will share the link to the panel in the comment section so that all of you that has something, you can say, you can come give us your 2 cents here. I think that's what I wanted to say, but I'll wait for you. Nothing new there to talk about. Let me see if I can easily open the page I'm looking for here. The other one seems to be taking 1,000 years to load completely. Yeah, it's not helping matters. I'm not sure why it's this slow. I had the same issue the other day that I had to shut off the stream and discontinue. But Jay, nice to see you. Big up, Jay. I do hope you're doing well. Jay, the 2 a.m. guy, thank you for finding the time to join us. But it looks like it's going to be a difficult day. I'm not sure why the connection is like it's behaving like this. Um, it's just okay. That's just one item. I'm guessing. Let me see if that works. Okay, this one here probably it's not gonna work. I'm sorry. It looks like I'm not sure why it's slow. I did reboot the system even before, which led to the delays in start. But let me see if I can do this. All right. Let's see. Am I did I veins here? Okay, that's Vince as well. All right, I think that's what we need here. Just give me 1 second here. I wanna. Okay, let's see if this will help us. So we'll start with news hunting to see if we can see anything interesting to talk about. We know. I think a lot of you are aware of this from not playing at Euros. Um, this says from not playing at Euros to coming back to win the England's Men Player of the Year. That is telling, really. I think it just makes sense that people now it makes more sense that people were asking questions of Gareth Southgate's while Cole Palmer, while he was starting games, and during the competition itself, when again England, when they were not doing well, Cole Palmer, every time he comes on, he changes things in their favor. Even in the final, he come in, scored an equalizing goal for them, but that wasn't enough for them to win that competition. I just don't understand. I mean, the question will always linger as to why Southgate wasn't. He didn't use him. You didn't use him to great effect. He became a bench warmer to the surprise of a lot of people, especially the English fans, even rival fans, even those that bantered him during the season proper. Uh, they knew that England needed him, but the manager he had other ideas. Surprisingly, but that's by the way, Jay. Let's hear your thoughts on Cole Palmer. I mean, this is telling, really. He barely played, didn't play that much during the Euros for England, and now he's emerged as England's man. What? Let me read that. The England's men player of the year. It just doesn't tally. Well, let's hear your thoughts, Jay. More importantly, thank you so much for finding the time to be on the panel with me. Are you there, Jay? Okay, we can't hear Jay. I'm gonna continue with you. If he comes back, if we get audio signal from him, then yeah, I'll just let him speak. Fabrizio Romano, it's been a really strong start to the season for Chelsea, and I think Enzo Maresca deserves credit after his arrival this summer in what was not the easiest moment. We were in a mess at the time. I agree. You could say we had no real structure in terms of how many players we had at the time in our squad. Lots of things weren't going our way, unfortunately. But he's been able to work even or you can say work magic even in under the most you can say not suitable in a not so suitable situation and still it doesn't look like as if it affects him in any way, so I'm glad. Give me 1 second here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes that do go a long way. We do have a total of how many people? 29 people following the show, but only 8 of those on YouTube, the rest on X. We appreciate you, Jay. If you can hear me, I was saying that Cole Palmer winning England's men player of the year is talent. Um, that will further,
I don't know if I'm audible, coach.
yeah, you are. That will further
Okay.
highlight of you can say the question as to why Gareth Southgate didn't use him during the Euros. At the time, I also he did prove that the England needed him. Still, the manager had other ideas in games where they were struggling. Again, I think it was on 2 occasions that he came off the bench to make the difference for them. Even in the final, a lot of people start arguing that had he started that game, then England could have won the Euros. So for the fact that he won this accolade, for lack of a more specific language, maybe I don't know if that's the correct language. Um, that highlights the question even further. What was he doing? But I want to hear from you, Jay.
Yeah, coach. Look, it was unexpected to be really not doubting the player, but it won't be truthful if we say that you expected him to win this award just because of the fact that he didn't start the tournament or really played
Mm,
a lot of contribution in that game. Not that it was his fault, but the circumstances, Southgate's role in that, all the decision making. Uh, but yeah, all due to all those factors, it seems like he won't be really in contention to win it. But now that he's won it, look, he totally deserves it. For sure, he wins that. wins that award, and you can't really question it. Maybe you can put your players here and there, maybe Saka, maybe Bellingham, all those players can make an argument, but he has those stats, he has those numbers, and he justifies the eye test that the whole world witnessed to prove the fact that he actually is a deserving candidate to claim that award. And the players, to win this award, you need the voting of your teammates in the England squad. And I'm really, really happy that the players that surround him in that team actually sees what we as fans see. Despite the club rivalries and putting everything aside, so that speaks a lot of volume, and I'm really happy. I'm really happy, and I think he deserves it. He deserves every bit of it, and I think he's going to get even better than this. Uh, and what a start at the age of what's his age? Like 22, 23, I think.
I think
And
it's let me check to be sure, but at most 22. But let me
yeah,
check for you.
at that young age, he's winning all those awards. We have seen. I can't recall all those awards that he has won. Our Player of the Season for Chelsea, fans, players, Player of the Season, and now this award as well. The Young Player of the Season in the Premier League as well. I think the numbers and the awards are only going to the upward trajectory, and hopefully there is no decline. I think the sky is as Noni Madueke mentioned in the interview, sky is the limit for this guy. I won't really say he's the best player in the world, but I will say it in another way that sky is the limit for this guy. There are no benchmarks, there are no limitations. He can claim everything. Even in the game, against Nottingham Forest, I am seeing those 2 or 3 clips again when I recall it, the little touches here and there. If it went in the goal, this guy is blessed. When he's not even performing, he's making those 2, 3 clips here and there, and you see the raw talent, the raw gift that this
I
guy
mean,
has.
he's
And
so
hope,
good that even in a bad day, he always
yeah,
emerges as our best player on the day. Um,
exactly.
yeah, he's a very intelligent player. More importantly, irrespective of the overall skill set, the way one thing I've learned about him is that he prioritizes. You can say familiarizing himself with its immediate, what's the correct language, with his surroundings. So when the ball
Yeah.
comes to him, he's ready, knows what direction to go, and I think that's something special. Not a lot of players do that. But if you pay attention to him, I think I did watch a particular video on YouTube explaining how he applies himself on the pitch. He's always looking left, right, familiarizing himself with the surroundings. So when the ball comes, it's no surprise to him. He already has an idea with regards to what to do with the ball. He's just an excellent player. I'm so sorry, cutting you off. Go ahead.
No, I'm almost done, but yeah, even I'm sure you are also seeing that clip against Nottingham Forest. The smartness, the assumption that what he's going to do, and the execution, doing it to perfection. And I think he did it against Murillo, which was, in my eyes, personally the best defender of that game. He really twisted him in that moment, and the goalkeeper literally made 2 quick saves, like back to back, to deny him.
Yeah.
But
Let's
wow,
go back
wow,
to that dribble a bit. I'd like you to talk about that dribble a bit. Because if you pause that ball before it
mm,
gets to him, and you ask anybody, what do you think he'd do with the ball? If they hadn't seen that video, they tell you that probably he's going to stop it and try to shield the ball. I think only a
yeah.
few will be able maybe to foretell that he's going to try that he's going to do what he did there, which is probably I'm not sure how to actually explain it, but go ahead, Jay. But that
Yeah,
was brilliant.
exactly. Yeah, in terms of metrics, you're right. 90% of the players, 90% of the time will shield the ball or maybe pass it backward or to the player
Yeah.
from where they receive it. They won't be that smart or that gutsy to make that pass because the success rate of it is very low. You can mess it up so horribly and you will make a mockery out of yourself. But he has the confidence and the belief in himself to execute it to perfection. And if it was not for the goalkeeper, it was one of the, like, for me personally, in contention to be the goal of the month, or even going far to say that the goal of the season as well. It was that much technical and that much beautiful. So every praise to this player, and sky is the limit, and I'm damn sure he's going to win more awards, and he's going to increase the number of medals around his neck.
I think he will definitely, and he enjoys football so much that I just couldn't stop laughing. The video of him, his teammates were busy getting involved in the in the fight, for lack of a more specific language. He just sat on the carpet there. That's,
Yeah, that funny side. I know. I mean, how can you be so good, so like top of the world, like of a player,
oh
and
my
yet be
goodness.
so I don't want to say weird, but I don't know what to how to define him. He's just so obnoxious, so funny at times, and I think does not even realize himself, and he doesn't do it intentionally. It's his body language, it's his gesture. So that's also a funny side, and that can also, may although the fans are already going to connect you because of your performances, but that side also makes him more likable, if you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah, he just wants to get on with the game, not interested in the fight. Fabrizio Romano saying it's been a really strong start to the season for Chelsea, and I think Enzo Maresca deserves credit after his arrival this summer, given the conditions that you could say he had to work under. It was never easy. Had uh, Mauricio Pochettino had also done well towards the end of the season, but the truth is, uh, I'm just happy we didn't just because of the last 5 games last season decide to keep him. I think a lot of people, I get it. He had issues, but let's not talk about him. But we're seeing the signs are good under Enzo Maresca. More importantly, irrespective of how good he is as a manager, I think we're seeing that the players are happy with his approach. They're not complaining. Um, um, and I think I think we will achieve a lot under this man. Irrespective of how well we've done so far, we have to be cautiously optimistic because it cannot be that straightforward. I think we will hit bumps here and there, and I think it's best that we're ready and expect that to happen because we're still in, you can say, at the early stages of what we're trying to do under this man. But let's hear you if you have anything to add to that.
Yeah, like we have talked about, Enzo Maresca a lot of times, and he deserves all the praise as well. I think he has done an absolutely wonderful job considering all the circumstances that are always around this Chelsea side. The new
Hmm.
ownership, new players, very young, coming to a league which is like the best in the world, very physical, very technical, and it's hard to settle in for new players as well, and to like just go with such a young group and produce results and be respectful as well, looking and performing both technically as well on the pitch, but also delivering points as well. So I think I'm really happy, and the fans are actually seeing the progress that he's making on this young squad, the harmony and the little things like the squad harmony, the injury record. This is one thing that not many have talked about, but I think it's not just a coincidence that we are seeing very less injuries, and there has been a subsequent decrease in the amount of players that are missing from the match day squad. And it's very funny actually. There's a clip going around on X, and there's a video of Mauricio Pochettino joined the USMNT.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
and he's like his first command to the players is just go running, and that makes me laugh a lot. So
Yeah,
it's good.
it reminds us a lot. I'm not gonna say PTSD, but you get the point, right? And people know why they were making jokes about that. And you could hear, um, you hear again our current players saying. I think it was Moses Caseta that did say something to the effect of under the former manager, it was all run, 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 run. But something to that effect anyway. I can't quite remember the exact words he used.
Yeah.
And Darko is saying here that Cole Palmer knew exactly what he was doing because he was on the yellow. Here's the thing: even if that was the case, the fact remains the way he casually sat down on the carpet. That is so aligned with his demeanor because you hardly see him go at an opposition player except trying to play dribble with them. Yeah, I don't remember ever seeing him, you could say, shoving someone or something like that. So that what he did again that day, that was so aligned with his demeanor. So it was easy to just say, yeah, that's a co-pilot thing to do. And in all honesty, even if he was on the yellow, still say that was so a co-pilot thing to do on that day. We have the captain is in the house, Constantine Dungy. Big up to you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. I do hope you're doing well. I hope your boy is good. Thank you for joining. Did you miss anything anywhere you want to comment?
Yeah, big up, coach. Big up,
Big up,
Jay. Big up,
brother.
chat.
Big up, Dante.
No, yeah, just put him to bed. Hopefully, he doesn't wake up in the next 5-10 minutes. But if I rush off, that's why. But yeah, hopefully he's fallen asleep now.
Family first. Anything that we talked about you want to talk about here?
I've just joined right now, so I'm not sure what you guys were talking about exactly.
We talked about
Yeah,
Cole Palmer winning England's men player of the year, but at the Euros he barely played, and even though he was, you could say, his performance off the bench was telling the manager, "I need to be starting." He didn't start. So this further, in my opinion, highlights you could say Gareth Southgate's in it lack of understanding of what Cole Palmer is capable of doing.
Well, that's a weird award to win. He didn't even play.
Yeah, but that's telling, really.
How was this award given? Do you know? Is it fan vote or what is it?
I
Don't
heard
know.
the players voted.
Player voting,
That,
fan voting?
that's
Yeah, it just
even more
depends on
telling.
context as well. Who decides this award as well? Obviously, so
The
Yeah,
English FA.
yeah. But there
it's
is
the
a
English
share of the
FA.
English players in the squad as well. I think there's a share of the players that are included in the squad.
Okay, so we're not exactly sure who, but yeah, okay. Yeah, it's a weird one. There's no way he should be winning this award without playing. I mean, come on. You
Uh,
can't give a guy that's been on the bench all tournament.
He did play in the Euros. He
yeah,
did
he's
play.
scored in the final.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah,
and he scored
In the,
important goals for them. I think one he came off the bench and made an assist for Oli Watkins, and that helped them
yeah,
win
that
that
was
one.
the 89th or 90th winner
Yeah,
for England as
exactly.
well.
So for me, those you could say that sort of performance for me is enough for him to win this because I've seen Kante come off the bench and win man of the match by for under 15 minutes. So he did play. The issue was that he wasn't starting. And even the rival
still,
fans will tell you that he needs to be starting. Some who prefer seeing what's his name? The Nigerian British kid, Saka, even some who prefer seeing Saka on the pitch were arguing that the manager should find a way and accommodate them both. Some were arguing that even Jude Bellingham shouldn't be starting.
does this take
Yeah,
account only England, as in playing for England, or
Playing for England and also what
Chelsea
his performances in the
as
league,
well?
I think so. Because if you use if it, the award says England's, I'm not sure what it encompasses, whether the league, whether it's just playing for England. Even if it is for playing for England, you could argue he scored some important goals for them, and in the final he scored the only goal for them. Wasn't that the case?
yeah, and I'm
No,
sure
coach, you
I
can't.
think Dante, I'm sure. I think the league performances are also considered, because then your what you're saying is absolutely true, because there's not much to actually give him that award. But if he's winning it, I think the role of the league is also there.
Has to be, yeah, to be, because just England, he hardly any played in the qualifiers. He played late in those, and then he hardly played. Came off the bench. He didn't start a game in the. So you can't give a player like that, England player. It just doesn't happen.
But
Inspiration as well.
yeah, go ahead,
Maybe there's
Dante.
a chance, but otherwise, I don't see it how he can win that award. Otherwise,
I think he deserves it. In all honesty, I think he deserves it. In my opinion, I know where you're coming from. Your main point is that he didn't play that much, but yeah, whenever he got the opportunity to play, he proved that the manager should be starting him at the time. But for some reason, he didn't.
yeah.
But
But if
that's a
you just
small
look at
opinion
England,
anyway.
coach, you can look
Go
at
ahead.
Harry Kane in the qualifiers scoring goals, and then it's a big difference. It can't be just England, and it can't be just that, because it makes no sense. You can There's no way a player that doesn't start for your country can get that award.
Okay, we get you. We're news hunting, and there aren't too many stuff out there to talk about, so we're trying to find interesting stuff to talk about. But Dante, if you have any questions for us, you usually you do ask great questions. So if you have any, bring it on before. Okay, we can start talking about this. If anything new emerges, we'll talk about them. We've seen this is not the first time we've seen our current players speak highly of Enzo Maresca. It's nothing new there. So no need to start reading what Levi Koa, what he said about him and all those things. But let's talk about this. we've been linked with a move for the three Victors: Viktor Gyökeres, Victor Boniface, and Victor Osimhen. I was surprised actually to hear that chances are that we could still move for Osimhen in January. And then Jhon Durán, we still like him. That's according to Fabrizio Romano. Dante, I'm going to start with you. Do we need to still go out and sign a number 9? For me, I'd say no. In all honesty, especially the sort of number 9 that will spend anything north of 50 million, or you can say north of 70 million pounds or even in euros. And if the plan is to use them in certain games, if maybe against certain oppositions, and I would try the best I can not to go into detail why I think we shouldn't sign Osimhen, even though I like him as a player. But Dante, do we need to sign a number 9? If you think we do need one, you have to explain why we need one. And which of the strikers that we've been linked with do you prefer? Victor Osimhen, Victor Boniface, Viktor Gyökeres, or Jhon Durán? Let's hear you.
Just before we go ahead, Coach, my name has changed, so it's not Dante anymore. You need to call me the captain from now on.
Oh, apologies.
Yeah.
Apologies to you.
Chelsea perspective,
Okay.
captain, to be exact. So just
okay.
Yeah.
I will oblige. Go ahead.
Now that there's this thing of name change, going on, can I be freed from the 2M thing? Just because it's going on.
Okay. Just call you
I'll
Jay.
apply. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for submitting your application. But then let's hear you.
Yeah, look, if we do go for Osimhen, I think it'll be an opportunistic move, actually, because I think, we'll probably
For
get him
how
on
much, really?
Yeah, I think we'll be getting, if we do go for him, it'll be on our terms that we wanted before, and maybe that's why we would go for him. Look, he's still a quality player. I know there's some, trouble fitting in maybe if the play style you were worried about. I still think he can do the job when you need him to do the job. He's not going to be effective in every game, and that's where it comes down to coaching. Like I said, even with Jackson, he's not going to be effective every game. The coach needs to know when to use him and how to use him, and against in which games he needs to use him. I understand backing your players is good, but sometimes that's what sets apart the real elite managers from the other ones. They know when to use their players in the right situation. So, yeah, I don't mind if he comes. That's fine, especially if we're getting on our terms. Because if we do get him on our terms, that will be very favorable for us. And yeah, it'll be basically a steal. So why not? The other Viktor Gyökeres, he's doing amazingly well. Obviously, I said I need to see another season of him. One season just not enough, especially just coming from nothing special, even in the championship
Let
year
me say
before.
this, Dante. I know where you're going. You have an agenda. You have a Gyökeres agenda. I've asked this question before. He came from the
No
championship,
agendas,
and
yeah.
in the championship, he wasn't poor. He was scoring goals, maybe not as many as he scored. Again, in a top tier, in a top level league. But the truth remains, if he's scoring more in the top
But he wasn't
level,
good either, Coach.
let me just finish. If he's scoring a lot of goals in a top level league, that's even more. He deserves more respect than a lot of people are given. It's not like in the championship they don't have goalkeepers. You just get close in the box. It's an open net. You score. I've heard people say
Yeah.
that the championship is actually a more difficult league than the Premier League, and I'm inclined to believe that's the
It
case.
is.
Well, my point is, if he's scoring a lot more in a top level league than he did in the championship, I think he deserves more respect than a lot of people are giving him, in my opinion. I
What
don't
you
know,
said,
Ken,
yeah.
but go ahead with what you were saying.
What you said there is exactly correct. The championship is a much harder league, in my opinion, than the Portuguese league. It just is, because in Portugal there's only 3 teams basically. The rest are very small teams, most of them. And you're right. And in the championship, he didn't light the world on fire. He didn't do that well. He did okay, just okay. And that tells you, that's what exactly you're proving your own point there. Yes,
Now,
championship
I'm
is.
saying, if again, it can go either way. If people are saying the championship isn't good enough, then he did okay in the Champions League. It's just the time, okay, right? If you're saying it again, in most cases, they tell you a player that comes from the championship will struggle in a top level league. But in his case, he's doing well in a top level league. So I don't think the argument of, you could say, of mentioning that he just came from the championship doesn't either way. It doesn't make sense. He has to beat the goalkeeper to score the goals he scored so far. But go ahead.
It does matter where you come from and where you've played before. Of course, it matters, coach. It absolutely matters. So if you get a player from the Sunday League straight into the Port straight into Sporting Lisbon, there's a big difference, I think. So it does matter where you come from and what you do and what level you were at, what level you were training at. So it matters quite a lot, in my opinion. It matters. That is the only criticism I have. That's why I want to see him. He didn't do it in the championship. He didn't do that well. It was a surprise move when they signed him. Even the Portuguese fan, I have a Portuguese friend, so he was like, "Who the hell is this guy? Where's he coming from? Why is he hasn't even got good numbers, nothing. Why are we getting him?" Because he was a bit more physical. Maybe he was depth at first. He was very down the depth chart. It was one of those big risks that Sporting took, and it worked out. Obviously, very very high risk. Very the other way, around. So it worked out for them. So that's fine, no problem, all good. I want to see him just do it again and do it in the Champions League, and let's see how he goes a bit more. Because let's not beat around the bush. Sporting don't want 50 million for him or 30, 40 million for him. They want close to 100 million for him. So it's a
So he's
lot of
still not
money.
cheap.
It's a lot of money. Yes, it's a lot of money. So let's see what he does this season. But so far, he's proved everyone wrong. He's had an amazing start in the league. Let's see how it goes in the Champions League, and let's get how it goes in those leagues, the European competitions. And then we'll take it from there. But I think he just needs that extra season. And I think that's why he stayed as well, to be honest. He stayed because to prove it, to do it again, and have a good have a good tournament in the European competitions as well. So I think that's why he stays. And I think Sporting agreed with that. Obviously, they're going to keep him because he's integral to the way they play. And they're still going to get that money for him anyway. It doesn't matter. So I want to see it again, but I wouldn't. Last season, I wouldn't have thrown 100 million at him, just having coming off one really good season in the Portuguese league, and before that, coming from the Championship, where he didn't have the best of. He didn't do nothing special. It was just a very normal season, nothing special. You can choose any striker from that Championship that had numbers like him. So that's where my argument lies. That's why I said I want to see him another year perform and do it again, and then I can make a proper judgment on him. But so far, 100%. He's looking very good.
Isn't this the third season in a row in a Portuguese league, or the second season?
This is the second season. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So let's just look at him. I would want to look at him this season and see how he goes. But especially in those European competitions that he's playing in, to see how he fares against those other top teams. And when he plays Porto, when he plays the top teams as well in Portugal. So that's what I want to see. And then, maybe then you can argue the case, he might be worth it. If he does really well in all those and scores ridiculous numbers again, then maybe he's definitely worth it. But just that one season, and where he came from, I know you say it's not important, but it is important in context. It is important. For 100 million, it's very important.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the price tag it's important. As I've said before, you can't just pay that much money for a player. I don't think that would be the case of Gyökeres, because I still argue. I don't know him that well. Let me not get to the extent of saying he's a more complete player than Osimhen. I'd have to see him even more. I think Victor Boniface would be, again, if we're going for the more experience, Victor Boniface would be my preference. He's a more complete player than Osimhen. In my opinion, you can argue actually a better finisher, but we get to that in a bit. Which of the strikers do you prefer? Which of the Bonifaces or Jhon Durán? Which of them do you prefer?
The superstar Durán, you mean? I can't go past the superstar, coach. Come on.
Jay didn't hear you.
No, I'm trying to ignore it. Every time I try to ignore it.
Okay, he's just trying to ignore it, but go ahead.
Look, I think we need to sign a striker that is not just coming in to compete with Jackson or Nkunku. I think if we do sign a striker, I think we need a striker to come in and be that striker.
Of course, you don't seem to pay attention to the manager's approach. You
Yeah, I
just
know,
want us to
but
sign a striker.
I haven't finished though yet. So yeah, so we need a striker that comes in, and he needs to have a little bit of a different profile as well, because then that's useful for the manager. It's very useful for the manager.
The
He
well-rounded,
can
the
do
more
what he likes.
rounded the player is, the better.
What type of player is the better?
The
You
more
mean?
rounded the player is, as in his overall attributes, ability, a good ball
Uh,
control, can play on either flanks, can stay central. He doesn't have to be the focal point. It doesn't have to be the sort of number 9 that every time we get to the final third, everything has to come through him.
can
We
I
don't
Go
have
interject
ahead.
that.
here?
Yeah, we don't have that type of striker coach at all. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
my
I'm
argument,
saying, but
Dante,
we don't
coach.
need that type. Otherwise, it's going to be a case of using that number 9 in certain games
But
yeah.
coach, that's
only.
my argument. Don't you think Jackson is the all-round player who can do a lot of other things as a striker, and you kind of need a different profile to be there,
Exactly. Yeah.
against a certain teams. Remember against Nottingham Forest, we were kind of making those crosses, but there was no presence in the cross until it was, of course, Nkunku missing that sitter. But other than that, there wasn't really that physical presence. Jackson does a lot of things, but he sometimes lacked that typical
The
strikers.
most important thing,
Yeah,
he does everything else very well,
right.
consistently, but the most important thing, he doesn't do efficiently and hardly ever does it consistently. That's the biggest issue. He's missing the most important thing. But even at that, I'd say we still don't need a striker. But that's just my opinion. Just give me 1 second. I don't know if Dante was still speaking. I did, bro. How you doing now? We
I
have
was speaking. You cut
Osimhen
me off,
is
but I'll
not
take it.
Osimhen is not budget friendly for Chelsea. He's not, and even he's. I don't know why he was busy telling people that he's worth more than 100 million pounds. I don't know who does that. To me, that's reflective of the sort of person he is, and I don't like that. And here's the link to join the panel if you want to, because this is supposed to be a calling show. We'll give you 2-3 minutes, except if you're a panel, our panelist in the panelist
Mhm.
group, then you can come stay as long as you want. But if you're not, you have 3 minutes to tell us, give us your 2 cents. I want Jackson and Durán. Durán wouldn't be bad, but I'm not sure. Again, I'm not too sure about his overall, again, whether he's able to drop deep, participate in the play and all that, but I think he can to a certain extent, but I need to see him even more. Osimhen, not so much. Osimhen cannot play on the flanks effectively, from what I know so far, until proven otherwise. But Dante, sorry, go ahead if you were still speaking so that we can get to Jay and hear his opinion.
Yeah. Got to try to remember where I was now. I can't remember exactly what I said, but anyway. Yeah. Look. Like Jay was saying there, we do need a striker and we do need a physical presence up there. We need a striker that can do those things. And there's not many of those. Like you say, Jackson can't do it all. He's not that type of striker. He can be very effective in games, certain opposition, 100%. So he's very useful to the coach. But you still need that number 9 physical presence. And there's not many in the world that can do that. And like you say, go wide, drop back, and do it all. It's very hard to find. The only one that comes close to that probably is Viktor Gyökeres. From how you see him play, he can do a bit of everything. He's good in the air. He's good there. He's physical. He's got speed. He can go on the outside, inside, drops back. He does it a bit of everything. So he's the only one that can probably do that. Other than that, Durán can't do all that. 100%, he can't do all that.
What about
Not many
Sesko?
strikers out there that can do all that.
That's a good one
Sesko?
to mention.
Dante?
I'm not too sure about, again, his ability to do all those things we mentioned, actually. But Dante may know. Dante, there's a chance
Well, I've
that
watched him
Dante
a few.
knows.
I've watched him in the big games, like I said, against Porto, when they play, Benfica, the
No,
European
you
competition.
are Benjamin Sesko?
Yeah.
Benjamin Sisko can't do all those things, coach. No, he cannot do all
Yeah, he
those things.
cannot. Actually, and sometimes in big games he struggle. He does
No.
struggle. We did see that in Euros. Well, I'll let you drop so that we can hear from Jay.
Yeah, so Sesko, there's not many strikers in the world that can do that. Hardly any, to be honest. There's not many, especially ones that are available. So no, there's no
I
strikers. It's
told
very
you
hard.
Victor Boniface can. He
He
can
can't do
play
that,
on the
coach.
flanks. He can play centrally. Victor Boniface, do you know him well enough?
I do know him well. He's a big guy. He's a heavy guy. He cannot really
Okay,
do those.
no. Are you going by his build, or are you going by? You need to see him again play for Leverkusen to
Build
see
is
how he
important.
applies himself on the pitch.
Build is
Right?
very important. The speed
Yeah,
is
I mean,
important.
Lukaku
yeah,
had that build as well. Lukaku, he
yeah.
Dynamism
had
is
Lukaku.
important. There's a lot that's important. So it is important. He's not an outside
Uh,
player. He plays in the inside. He's not an outside player. He's not effective on the outside. He hasn't got the attributes to play on the outside.
Let me just stick with, you know what? I think he's a more complete player than Osimhen. Very, in all honesty, no jokes.
A little bit, yeah. I agree with that. I agree
Mhm.
with that, 100%. Yeah, he's definitely, and so is Gyökeres. Osimhen is more of a striker, proper striker. Can do a few little other things, but he's 100%. I agree with that.
Yeah, he's more of a traditional number 9. Yeah. All right, let's hear you. Do we need so let's let me get this correct. Let me get this right. Dante, captain. Sorry, the captain of the house. Your preference would be Osimhen, right? Was that what you told us?
No. Preference is not Osimhen. There's no real striker. There's only one that has everything, and that is Gyökeres. But I'm yet
Hmm.
to. I want to see more.
So you're still practically in purgatory. You haven't decided where you where you want to be.
Well, no, I haven't, because there just isn't. Like I said, there's no one that can do what you're saying and what the coach likes to do it all. Either you go for a guy that's completely different, physical, and then
hmm.
you rotate them, or other than that, to sign a proper striker that does it all, there's not many. There's only that, like I said, Gyökeres can do that, but I'm yet to see. I need to see a bit more, and then we know for sure if he can do it properly.
All right, Jay, just give me one moment here. Durán is great in the air, yep. And one thing I like the most about him, the first thing I noticed about him is that he shoots instinctively. Once he's inside the box, doesn't need a first touch like Jackson almost always needs. He just shoots, and outside the box, he can also shoot. Duran can play on the flanks as well. I didn't know that. I have to look at him closer. I think I like him. I've mentioned why I started liking him in the first place. Because had we signed him, he'd offer what Nicholas Jackson cannot offer. Nicholas Jackson, I think he's trying to learn how to shoot instinctively, but that's something he hadn't done in the past, which has led to him, you said, taking too many touches and then not find the space to shoot anymore. Boniface is the ideal, but he said he doesn't want all like to play in the Premier League. Thank you, I remember that. But I think money changes everything. If we're truly interested in signing him, if we present our offer to him, I wouldn't mind Boniface. He's a more complete number 9 than Osimhen, in my opinion. He can drop deep, control the ball very well, and I think he can play on the flanks too. Gyökeres will flop at Chelsea. You have to elaborate, Kishan. You can't just say that. But Jay, let's hear your thoughts. Do we need a number 9? If yes or no, you tell us why. And if you think we need, which of these the names that being mentioned that you think we should go for?
Yeah. So first, am I audible? I have to ask
Yeah,
that
yeah,
every time.
very, very.
Okay. Okay. So the big question, the first question, I think we do need it, because I think top four, top five, even top three. This is not our place to, stay here and always fight for this. I think we should be ambitious, and title winning and being in the title race is where our final aim is, and even in the UCL. So, and I
Mhm.
think with Jackson and even the other strikers, if you want to consider Nkunku and the young guys as well, Magyu and all. I don't think we can do that with them on our team. I think we do need an upgrade. We do need a challenge more than an upgrade to keep Jackson on his edge to perform well. Although Jackson does deserve all the praise, he is really good. He's one of the unique strikers in the league, and even in in Europe, you will find that it's really hard to exactly see a striker that do the kind of things that Nicholas Jackson do. It's really, really hard. It's very unique in that way. And big up to the directors and the hierarchy for actually finding him for such a cheap price. And I think he will be really, really key asset for Chelsea moving forward. But saying that, I also think that there is a scope for improvement. There is a scope for something that we call challenging for the spot, the playing 11 in the league. And I think Jackson is under not real threat in the league to perform. And we saw it. More than that, we saw it that he lacks that typical nine thing that I always repeat. The presence in the box, the physicality to take those headers, to put in the tap-ins as well. Sometimes he misses because he's not in the position to do that. He's somewhere around the box, outside the final third, somewhere around there. So he missed that, and the typical number 9 will give you those options, and hence I say we need it. But I don't think I think I moved on from Victor Osimhen. I was eager for him to come to Chelsea at a stage, but I think that period is over. I think there is obviously an attitude issue that you mentioned, coach, and I think we can't really ignore it. It does play a role. We have to consider that factor as well because he's coming to a young Chelsea side if he's going to come, and it is very important to not dismantle the squad harmony that we are building here. And hence all those ego and attitude things are a role, and the comments that he makes sometimes can be a negative outlook for us to go and grab him. That is one thing. And now I think going to the Turkish league, although it's a small spell, and everything, all the controversies surrounding the transfers and all, not playing, not performing as well, not being in constant training, out for a while, and now in the Turkish league as well, you can't tell me that the standards won't go down for a player to, despite being of a high stature, to go there and play and come back. There will be definitely a decline in his performance. Maybe he can come back to it. Maybe he can develop it again. But I think it will be a little what to say. I think there will be some levels that will be depleted in him, and hence I think I've moved past Osimhen. If you prefer and ask me who I want, uh, think look, Gyökeres will be a good choice, but to be realistic, I think he will demand, or maybe Sporting will demand a high fees for the player, and I don't believe that our club can actually go for a 100 million striker again. Now that we have a developing Jackson in our armory already, and hence I think although Jhon Durán will cost us maybe around 70 million again, but I think he's worth it. So maybe
Yeah,
Sesko,
after signing
maybe
a new contract, most definitely.
yeah, 70, around 75, 80, even 80. I won't be shocked if he's around 80, looking at his performance and the new contract. So Jhon Durán and Sesko, I think those are the players that will not really, overthrow come Jackson completely. I think they will challenge him. There will be a sweet competition there, and a big gun like maybe Osimhen or even Gyökeres can kind of hinder the development that I'm seeing for Jackson. I want someone who can challenge him nicely and also does not destabilize what we are seeing from him. And that is why I think probably Jhon Durán or Cisco. I'm not really sure about who to pick, but definitely there is a need of number 9. That I can say for sure.
So you're not too sure which of them you think we should go for.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this while I'm still with you. Um, can we be honest with ourselves? Had we succeeded in signing Jhon Durán, do you think he'd be playing?
Mm,
I don't think so.
um,
Especially how much we could have gotten him for at the time. I don't think he'd be playing too many games. I think his case
that's
probably wouldn't differ that much from that of Mark Guy, except it maybe even when he gets a chance, probably he'd do better than Mark Guy had, you could say, has done so far.
100%. But my view was around 5-6 million, so that's a different thing. I think we looked at the price, that release clause or something, and that is why we went for Mark View. I don't think if he was around 20, 25 something, I don't think we will go for him. I think that's a good deal. We can definitely make, even if he doesn't, have a future at the club. I think the ownership sees that they can make a profit on him very easily. So yeah, I mean, you're right. I think now that he's smashing it and got a new deal at Villa, I think he will demand something like that if he comes to Chelsea. But I think the
Mhm.
problem here comes but he's used to playing a second, second coming from the bench and as a second striker under Olive Watkins, right, at Villa. So yeah, he's playing under him, so he's used to that role. And coming to a big club like Chelsea, I don't think he, in general, personally would have demanded that. But I think now there will be offers from other clubs. That can be your Man United or other clubs as well, and they will offer him a first team spot, and they will guarantee him to start. And that is where our problem starts. And then we have to come in and promise him that thing, which I don't think we can 100% guarantee, because we don't want to, as I repeat, we don't want to disturb Jackson's development, which it seems like from the club hierarchy they are really, really invested in Jackson's pathway going forward.
Yeah, let's see. Durán is 20 and already lighting up the Premier League. Gyökeres doesn't have his ceiling. I think that's just your opinion anyway, but we'll get to that in a bit. And Chama, nice to see you, the queen of the house. So I appreciate you finding the time to be part of the show. I do hope you're doing well. Hello to you too, and thank you for joining. Please keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. We are 1 hour and 11 minutes into the show. We have just 10 likes. We should be doing a lot better than that. Coach your bug, and yes, this is New York bro there. I think him and Jackson would share minutes depending on the matchup. I disagree. Pay attention. Nkunku, as good as a finisher he is, at one point we all thought, Jackson will probably taste the bench in a particular game. When I believe a lot of people's belief at the time was that Nkunku comes in for Jackson. That didn't happen. That did not happen. So let alone Jhon Durán, who I believe that had we signed him, the manager would view him as inexperienced, and rightly so, irrespective of his exploits at the time before we signed him. I don't see a situation where you tell me they will be sharing minutes. No. He only gets, had we signed him, I think he gets to play only when Jackson isn't, maybe just the manager decides to rest Jackson, or maybe in the cup games. And the way I'm seeing it, and given, and especially had we, if we succeeded in signing him at the time, I don't think we'd pay anything close to £50 million. So it'd be easy to actually just drop him until he gets a chance and proves that he should be starting. But Dante, let's hear you. Do you agree? Again, you know the question already. Had we gotten the deal over the line, do you think he'd be playing again enough games to continue developing properly at Chelsea? I'd say no. I don't think his case will be different from that. Would differ from that of Marky, in my opinion. Especially had we signed them at the time at the price that was being mentioned. I don't think the manager will even. You can say I don't think he'd be. You can say when the Jackson isn't playing, I don't think he'd be starting over Nkunku. But let's hear you, Dante.
Yeah, and I'm one of those that think Nkunku should be starting in low block games 100%. It is early though. Let's not forget we're 6 games in. It is very early, so it's a bit quick. We can be a bit quick to act to talk about that, but it is very early. That can change very quickly. It's a long season, and especially after the games Jackson has had against the low blocks where he's been invisible. I think Maresca can see that, and his coaching staff can see that. So that can change very quickly after the international break or in the near future. So that can still change quite a lot. And I think it will, in my opinion. If it keeps going, it'll definitely change. It will have to change.
Change for who? Sorry.
Nkunku to play.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Yeah. Let's hear you.
Yeah, going back to the Durán conversation, like you said, I don't think he would have played as much from the start. 100% he wouldn't have. Just look at, you guys need to also look, when does Durán score his goals? Do you know when Durán scores his goals?
I haven't been paying attention. Off the bench, mainly.
Whenever he gets the opportunity.
Yeah, and when is that?
I think that's the most correct answer. Yeah, whenever he gets the chance,
it's not his fault
he
that he's
scores.
not
I know what Dante is looking for, but you've gotten the most correct answer from Jay. Whenever he gets the opportunity, majority of the times he scores. But go ahead.
Yes. So when are all his goals, basically? They're basically in the last 15, 20 minutes. All his goals are then, all of them. That's when he scores most of his goals. Why is that? He's coming on as substitution. They're usually up already. Aston Villa, they're doing well. The other teams are opening up, trying to attack, and he's got space
Um,
and
I think
time to
that's.
shoot because he gets the ball and then he just shoots. It is important. People might not look at it, but it is very important.
Hmm. Can I come in?
Yeah, it is important, Jay, because yes, it is very important. I'm
Look,
Yeah,
sure
go
you
like
ahead,
guys
Jay.
look at
although
stats and
I'm not
stuff.
at all on
And
the
the eye
same
test, it is
wave,
important. He needs space to do what he does.
yeah, although I'm not on the same wavelength as coach, as
Go
calling
on.
him the superstar, I'm not at all his biggest fan. But still, I'll say that this argument is a little disingenuous. It's not like it's really easy to come from the bench and score. We've seen a lot of people, lot of players, lot of strikers on in different leagues and different teams that struggle to do the job that Duran does. And I don't think it's his fault that he's not starting. I think it's just a fact that Ole Watkins is a national team striker. Also performed really, really impressive last season, and that is why I
Yeah,
think
he's better than him.
automatically he gets the start. And I don't think it's Duran's fault that he's not getting the start at all. He also
It's not
scored in
Duran's
the
fault at all.
Champions League as well,
It's not Duran's fault at all. I
but he
never said
scored
it's
in the
Duran's
Champions
fault.
League as well. That's a big
Yeah,
stage.
he did. The long goal against Bayern,
Okay,
right?
so you
Yeah, and
guys basing it all on one goal against Bayern.
No, I'm not. Here's the thing.
Well, that's what I mean. It's very
But here's the
early.
thing. My question
and the
is,
quality of the goals as well.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the
But here's the thing.
shooting.
But Dante, the
Yeah,
question I want again, maybe you're still answering it.
I am. Yeah.
Again, if had we gotten the deal over the line at the time, do you think he'd be playing well enough to continue developing properly? And I've said no, I don't think so. But I'll leave you until you drop.
Yeah, and I answered that as well. I pretty much the same agreed with you as well. Yeah, exactly the same, pretty much the same way. He's more established in the Aston Villa team. He's been there for a while. They know him. It's a bit different. They gave him the number 9 shirt as well, so it's a little bit different. But what I'm just saying with Duran, he scores his goals when he's always come on when Aston Villa are up. They're leading most of the time, nearly 80+% of the time. The opposition's opened up and they're coming toward trying to at Villa, and he comes on. He's got space to move into, run into. He's got space to get the ball and shoot, and turn and shoot, sit down, have a coffee, and shoot. He's got time. So that's how he scored most of his goals, which is good. It's not his fault, like you say, Jay. It's nothing to do with him, but it's very different when you come on as a striker and the opposition is in a low block and they're not attacking you and there's no space to move in. Do you think Duran
Mm.
do you see Duran being effective in that scenario? No, he wouldn't be. He hasn't got the space to bring the ball down, to turn around, to shoot. There's no
Okay.
space for that. It's very
Yeah.
different. Two different
Yeah.
things there.
You know what? I understand. I understand the argument that you're putting in. Maybe the sample size is not that much. Maybe you want to see him
That's
start
my
the
next point.
games
Yes.
and maybe produce the same thing, and then you will be sure about it. So yeah, I
Correct.
understand what
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
talking.
So my next point is let's see him when he starts games, because I have seen him start a couple of games and he didn't do that well. He didn't do those things. So let's see him start. It's early. It's only 6 games in the season. The sample size is tiny. Yes, he scored some nice goals. Yes, he scored a goal in the Champions League against Bayern Munich, but that is still very, very early.
Yeah, but you
Very
know
early.
how Chelsea fans react to such you can say a lot of them you can say spew and you can say not swimming really arguing that you see we messed up there that some are arguing
No.
next time you hear that Chelsea are interested in signing a certain player, don't question the directors. They know exactly what they're doing, and that's because the kid he scored a few goals here and there, and plus
Yeah.
the rumors that Barcelona are also interested. They're looking at him also. That's how Chelsea fans
Yeah, and
judge
I'm sure
players.
a lot of clubs
Yeah.
are looking at him. He's 20 years old, so a lot of clubs would have already been scouting
And
him
he
or
has
scouting him.
potential. In all honesty, he does have potential.
He has the potential, but he hasn't done anything yet except come on as a sub and score some great goals, long distance shooting goals, and it looked all right, done well. One in the Champions League against Bayern Munich. I mean, sorry, 6 games in that. That's you can't make a judgment on that. Let him start. Once he starts, and then he proves he can do it. When the defenses are set up differently and teams are set up differently, there is a lot. Then you can see the difference. And when I have seen him play like that, he hasn't looked good because he hasn't got that same space and when you come on as a sub when you're winning and the other team's opening up so they can come score against you. There's a big difference. So yeah, there is a bit of context there. So I want people just to pay attention to that. And he's got the potential 100%, but I can't base it this early. That's way early. He hasn't even started hardly any games. And like I said, the ones that he did start, he couldn't do it from the start. So it's something to pay attention. And yeah, we'll see how the season progresses and if he gets better. And if he's that good, he'll start over Ollie Watkins. If he's that good, the Aston Villa coach will put him over Ollie
For Aston
Watkins.
Villa, actually, Watkins, he's actually become more of a creator than a
does
goal
both.
scorer, actually.
He
And
does
his
both.
numbers reflect that. But go ahead.
Yeah, he does both, coach. He's another one of those that's, a great all-round striker. He's pretty physical. He's not small. He's big. He can assist. He's technical. He can go out wide. He can go in behind. He can drop. He does it all as well. He's one of those
He's
strikers that can.
deceptively physical. You'd think that
Yeah,
he
yeah,
can,
exactly. So he's one
given
of those
his
strikers
history.
that can
Yeah.
do it all.
Mhm.
He's a little bit older, obviously, more mature, a bit more experienced. He's got that more mature body as well, the strength as well. So he's at his peak right now. This is it. This is the peak of Ollie Watkins right now. So yeah, so just be calm. We have to wait and see. 6 games is not a big enough sample. Yeah, it goes back a little bit to last season, but there were very in between, few and far in between, because he didn't play hardly at all. Only at the end of the season, a little bit he came on and again scored a few nice goals. So we have to just pump the brakes and wait to see on superstar Durán because, yeah, there's still a long way to go. The sample size is way too tiny.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that Ollie Watkins proves that you don't need too much meat to be physical. I know you get the point.
Oh, he's a strong player, coach. He's very
He
strong.
is deceptively
Not weak.
strong and physical.
Sorry,
Yeah,
coach.
go ahead.
Can you repeat what you just said? Did I hear it right?
You heard it, I think.
Yeah,
Oh my God! How can you make the
heard it
same
right,
mistake
and I
twice?
deliberately used that language because I know how much you'd like to hear that. Yeah, I said that he proves Ollie Watkins is proof that you don't need too much meat to be physical.
Yeah, he always adds that meat in there. He always adds some
I
meat.
don't
And
know.
let's not forget,
You guys
coach,
should get your dirty minds out of the gutter. I don't care what you guys do.
the meat is very well seasoned when you're nearly 29 years of age.
Oh
So
gosh.
he's 28 in December. In a couple of months, he'll be 29. He's not young anymore. Ollie Watkins is not young. He's 29. So, and he's over 1.8 meters. He's tall and he's actually quite wide. He's quite thick. So he's strong. He's not a small guy. He looks small, but he's not a small. He's a pretty big guy.
Thank you, Dante. Thank you.
All right. Let me
So
ask you this, Jay. Let me start with you. Apart from
yeah.
the number 9 position,
Hmm.
I've argued I don't think we need to make signings for any other position except we see uh, a talent that we know. We say, yeah, you know what, he's just better than what we have, or maybe let's just sign him and add him. It would be that particular player would be a good addition to our squad. I think we don't even need to sign a defender. And Selmino comes in 25,
Yeah.
25, 26 season. Wingers,
Hmm.
of Messinho and also Kendrick Pies both can play on the can play in the on the flanks too. So I think if anything, we don't have we don't have the need to sign players in too many areas except maybe the number 9 area. But let's hear you.
Yeah, you're right. I think we are stacked with talents that are going to come in certain position that may require, attention. Maybe the defense that we are all talking about, but we have to see how Anselmino comes and looks at Chelsea, and also Levi Colwell is looking really really good. He's performing amazingly, and that is why he's getting all the praise. Fofana is coming back from a 2 year or 1.5 or 2 year injury. So I will still give him the chance and see how things work for him. Tosin is doing really good. I think he won't be there with us in the future, in the long term future. But I think the limited years that he's got, maybe 2, 3, I don't know how many. I think he will do his duty really, really nicely, even from the bench and in the cup games as well. So I think we are done in defense. I don't want to talk about the Monaco partnership, Disasi Bediasil. I think we need to offload them as quick as possible. and that's the
But
headache
if
of.
we have to offload the two of them, then we definitely do need to sign another defender.
I think Anselmo does come in, and we'll see how he does. Maybe we can have another Tosin-like personality in the center backs, on a free, something that is very cheap and very good. So I won't be against that. But other than that, I think it's more about time, giving our, the parting center backs the little time. Poland and Fofana needs a little time. Anselmo will come, and he will require also a little time. And I think that will hopefully that proves to be a fruitful investment. Other than that, I think even goalkeeping department, we got the Jorgensen guy as well as remember I think we have Mike Penders or someone like that also. I don't know. He's
Mark
very very
Mendon,
young,
the
I guess.
Belgian kid.
Yeah, I think he's very young. There's still time
Hmm.
for him.
Hmm.
So I don't think there is any requirement. There will be a debate. I think we all know that there will be a debate. I don't know in the near future where we will need to let go of one of the 10 guys or the wing guys. Let me name it directly: Nkunku, Jao Felix, I think, and Mudrik. I think some of these guys needs to be displaced when you will add Candy Pires and Estavo as well. I'm not saying
Eventually.
immediately. Yeah, I'm not saying immediate, and especially the guys like Nkunku, they are not your bench players. They are good international players. They will demand sooner or later when they are performing. They will demand constant starts in the big league games as well, and that is where we might face the problem. But that is still a little far, and we also have to see how Estavo and Candy Pires, reacts to the Premier League, how they are, how their development is. Maybe they need to go on loan or something like that as well. So we have to see there. One thing that I want to mention is the midfield. Now, noted that there is some criticism for Enzo Fernandez. I love the player. I really love what he does, but there is some uh, criticism towards him, and some of it is kind of justified. Not all of it, but I think he deserves some of it. He's not really performing the
I'd
way.
say a lot of the criticism for me are unjustified, in my opinion.
Yeah, fair enough.
Some are
I'll
coming
say
from
that.
the quarters of the fan base that only see football on a surface level. They don't understand the importance of certain players and what they bring to the team. As long as they don't have you could say they don't garner a lot of assists or maybe goals. But go ahead with what you were saying.
Exactly. And when Enzo doesn't play, we all saw the result, how our midfield performs. So there is definitely that element to it. But I think some of it is also down to his underwhelming performances, even during the matches, or some complete gap or lack of awareness. And to add to that, remember Enzo Maresca also added in the conference that. He needs someone like a typical, number six, a physical entity in that midfield. So even the coach is kind of demanding it, and there is also some pressure on Enzo as well. So I think we can add what the coach is demanding. Maybe a physicality kind of a player that brings the physical side to our midfield, which we lack. We 100% lack. Where we have very technical and gifted midfielders, but they are all midgets. Respectfully, they are all midgets. So we just lack the physicality. So I think there can be a conversation about the midfield if we are going to add someone.
Yeah, Dante, let's get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think midfield might be a position that we might need. Depends on how Leslie does at Southampton this season. We'll see how he develops because he's that type. Let's not forget he's a DM type, big guy, tall guy, very good on the ball as well. So he's that type. We'll see how he goes. He might come back. Well, he'll come back definitely next season, and he might hopefully have developed a bit better to to be um, to be in line with that position. We've got Andre Santos coming back. Don't forget, I think he'll definitely be in the squad when he comes back. I think his 2-year loan is working out perfectly for him. He's going to do really well. He's done very well there. He's going to do pretty well this season, and he will definitely, I think, come back into that midfield as well. So this is your more a little bit of backup with Santos, and you've got that physicality from Leslie. So that could be the two. We might not need to actually sign anyone. If Leslie, for example, doesn't do it, he's not up to scratch, he's not really doing it, then we still might look at someone physical. But again, I think it won't be anyone to replace those guys. It'll be just there to another sort of younger guy to try to fill that role and become that. But I don't think they'll sign anyone like, top end to just come in. So we're pretty set with the midfield, to be honest. I know people on Enzo, they're on Enzo, like you said, coach. I'm not one of those pieces. Yeah, I agree. He had a bad game. He didn't have a good game. Neither did Caicedo. They both had two below par games against Nottingham Forest. And sometimes you need have that extra player, that physical player that can come in because, like I was saying, Nottingham Forest are a very physical team, big, strong, tall, physical. So yeah, sometimes you need that to have that player. So I agree that it's a little bit missing. One of those players is missing there, but it's not like he's not there. You do have Vega there. So Vega can actually play in that defensive midfield if you really want a player that can do that. He can play there, especially if you invert him from left back. You invert him there, he can do that job. We've already seen it. He's already done that job. So he can do that job. He's physical, tall, speed, great on the ball, great against the press. He's got it all. So there is a player there for the solution as well. Just haven't really seen Maresca utilize it as much yet. But like I said, it's very early. He's learning still some of these players. And I think you'll see changes throughout the season that will happen slowly.
Hey, well, let me ask you this question. I'm sure you heard Khalid talk about that. But before I do that, just quickly here, United bought two strikers. Yep, probably looking to sign even one more. I would take Durán for 30 to 40 million. Good luck getting him at that price, especially after he signed a new contract with improved
the ship has
salary.
sailed for Durán, and the ship has sailed probably for Omaridian as well.
Yep. And Durán, if you want to get Omaridian, can never happen again. He switched clubs already. Probably felt Chelsea weren't serious about signing him and had other players that they prefer at the time. But in the case of Durán, it's still a possibility. We may well see another Chelsea or Lisa situation where we'd have to pay a lot to get him. And that's if the kid himself, before we go again, it's going to be very difficult. We don't even know whether he has a release clause on the new contract. But mainly, I think the highlight was that he got a better pay. What I want to ask you, I'm sure you've heard Carlito say that, and a couple of other people, that Andrea Santos, he comes in, he's going to take the Enzo Fernandez place.
No, I don't see that. I don't see that.
Are they even the same? Because Santos is more of box to box. Enzo Fernandez is more definitely. That's what he is, a deep line playmaker. You can call him a regista.
Yeah.
But Santos, a hybrid of 8 and 6, or you call him box to box. But let's hear you.
Yeah. Santos can do both. He can play, he can play that. He's done it for Strasbourg and he's done it well. So he can play both those positions. He's got a better tank. He's a bit better, differently built. But I don't see him coming and taking Enzo Fernandez.
He doesn't have his vision, right?
Definitely doesn't have his vision. No, he's not the same type of passer. No, he does all the other things much better, but not that part of the game. It's a little bit different. His passing range and his passing style and ability is a little bit different. Yes, Enzo definitely has that on him. Yeah, I know Carlito. A lot of people are criticizing Enzo Fernandez because he's not a defensive midfielder. He doesn't do anything for us defensively. Well, he's not there for that. That's not what he's there for. That's not his role.
Yeah, exactly.
That's on the coach to put the players around him to do that, and that's why we do invert to help there. But the one little tiny criticism I do have of Maresca is that he's playing him too much box to box. He's playing him in that box to box CM role more than he's playing him deep lying playmaker, and I really want to see him change that up because he doesn't really suit that CM box to box, running around everywhere, because that's not his strength. So he runs around everywhere, even against Nottingham Forest. He ran around everywhere, up high, out wide. It just takes he takes that part of his game out of him, and he's not effective as a box to box CM. He's just not. So I don't want to see Maresca playing him there. He still is. So that's one change I would like to see, to play him deep. because I think he can do it. He can do the job deep. He's got pretty good acceleration. He hasn't got speed, but he's got good acceleration, and he goes hard in at tackles when he goes for tackles. But not when you're running from far away or from from a distance and there's space involved. No, he's not good at that, and that's CM box to box. Caicedo should be playing in that position, and I think Enzo should be playing the deep lying playmaker DM position, and he will have support defensively because someone's inverting, and he will have support defensively as well. So I'd like to see him there. That's one thing I think Maresca should change, and he did it in 2 games this season, and those were Enzo Fernandez's 2 best games, man of the match, and probably second best on the field in the other one. So the proof is there. We've seen it even last season. So I need him to make that change. Hopefully he does. I think it had to do with Romeo Lavia as well being injured, because we saw how well he used him in preseason, and at the start he was going to use him, but unfortunately he got injured. So yeah, again, it's a bit early. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, 100%. I want to see Enzo Fernandez in that defensive midfield role, playmaker, and control the game. Every ball goes through him. He's the distributor. He controls the pace. He gets the ball out wide, in behind. He does everything with it. That's where I want to see him. And I think Enzo Maresca is, like you said,
and I'm going
one of his
to
most
ask you this.
important players.
Jay, we'll get to you in a bit, please, if you don't mind. I don't know why people seem to find it difficult. I think we said this before again, that he's actually Enzo Maresca's most important player. He is to Maresca what Gallagher was to Pochettino. And people don't pay attention. Just the tiny bitty things that during games when opposition players press us aggressively, and sometimes you think that's it, they're going to get the ball from us. And he pops up, he asks for the ball, irrespective of how many people that's on opposition players on him. And before the ball gets to him, actually, one touch, he doesn't even take a touch, he gets us out of trouble. He does that all the time in terms of the pressing. He waits when the 2 of our teammates press the opposition player. Once that player with the ball makes a mistake, he's there to pounce on it. And I think we've gotten 3 goals out of his, you can say, reaction to opposition players losing
Pass
the
to
ball.
assist.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So
Yes.
I don't know why people don't pay attention to that. They just think he's not the quickest. And the last time I had that debate with Carlito, when he was mentioning how slow he is, I told him slow is nothing. Remember, Babatov wasn't the quickest.
Well, coach,
Cesc
you can just look at
Fabregas wasn't the
Jorginho and
quickest.
Fabregas.
Yeah, Fabregas, it was his vision.
Pirlo.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot
Fabregas,
of
it was his
players.
vision, his footballing intelligence. And Enzo Fernandez has all those things. He's even quicker than Fabregas at his prime.
Oh, he's much quicker than Fabregas, much quicker than
exactly.
Jorginho.
So I don't know why people
Pirlo,
don't pay
yes,
attention to that. They just judge the guy. Maybe they just understand football at the surface level, and that's it.
I understand what they're saying, and they're
Yeah,
right.
go ahead.
They're right that he's not that he's a little bit slower, because he is. He's not a dynamic.
Yeah, he is, and nobody's
player.
arguing against that. Go ahead. Yeah.
They're right in saying that, but in the context you're using it, you gotta see where you're using that. But one thing I do agree, I mean, that's where there's a little bit of criticism from me, a tiny bit on Maresca, is he's not utilizing him as he should. That's my only he should be playing in that deep DM, deep lying playmaker position, not CM box to box 8, because that's not his strength.
And sometimes, let's be honest here, when you see content creators also talk about him, I just saw one pop up now. We need to talk about Enzo Fernandez, the truth. I haven't watched that. Maybe he's being truthful about his importance. You see some, I think that started when he got injured, or when he was out for a while, and it was just Gallagher and Caicedo at the time where the team peaked, where what's his name? Our ex figured out that inverting Gyökeres will make a whole lot of difference. People were going, "Oh, we were winning because Enzo wasn't playing."
No,
I sometimes you question how those content creators, how their understanding of football. I'll let you just so we can hear from Jay.
Exactly, yeah, exactly what you said. They didn't realize that we inverted someone and to play in that midfield, and Cucurella to help that defensive midfielder, and that's why we looked that good. That was the big change, not him not being out. It wasn't him being out. The big change was definitely the inverting, helping the midfield, helping the defensive midfield out. So yeah, like you say, I don't know why they don't look at this, but I can't blame everyone. They're probably not so. They love Chelsea, they love football, but then they don't have maybe the football IQ. They never play the game. There's a lot of things you can have, and you don't see those things, which is fine. I'm happy. I don't mind. But yeah, when you're that big and you have those big accounts, you got to know a bit more than that. You got to know all those things by now.
Yeah, I do agree. Jay, let's hear from you. The argument that Santos comes in, he takes Enzo Fernandez place. Let's hear your thoughts on that argument. Have we lost Jay? Is he still there? Okay, it doesn't
Only
look
way,
like.
yeah, I'll continue just before Jay goes there. The only way that Enzo is if he leaves and if he wants to leave.
And
So if
I
he's
do
not
believe
happy
if
with
he
life,
wants to leave, there won't be shortage of clubs interested in signing him
exactly. If he
because
wants to
he's
leave,
an
he's not happy in
excellent player.
London. He's not
Yeah.
happy. Let's be real. He's gonna get a lot of criticism, and he's already got it. And especially with the slash racism incident, he hasn't got a lot of fans. A lot of them hate him even more. So I wouldn't be surprised in the future if he decides to move on because he's not comfortable and whatever. And it can happen, obviously. That's the only way I can see Santos filling in. But otherwise, to take his spot in the starting lineup while he's there, no, I don't see that happening.
Like, it's not possible. Santos isn't Enzo. Enzo isn't Santos. Their profile is different. If we lose Enzo, if the manager is still into playing a deep line playmaker, I think we'll be looking for another player. And as good as Lavia is, and as much as I love Lavia, he isn't Enzo Fernandez. It's as simple as that, really. But let's see what happens. We have a deep squad. As Legacy is here, I think he remain one of the manager's most important player, irrespective of how anybody sees it. But you still say the argument that he's too slow, irrespective of again all the things he does very well that the manager takes. And people, I don't know how people judge football anyway. Let's look at these guys. Okay, for Osimhen, for 24-25. Yeah, currently he didn't play any game. Didn't play any game for Napoli. Now he's at Galatasaray. He's played just 6 games for them and 3 goals. For Victor Boniface, he's played 11 games in total. That's including um, the Bundesliga, the UEFA Champions League, DFL Super Cup, African Cup of Nations qualification games. He scored 6 goals in total, 1 assist. For Viktor Gyökeres, he's played 13 games. The Portuguese League, UEFA Champions League. In the Portuguese League, he has 11 goals. In the UEFA Champions League, he has 1 goal. The Portuguese Super Cup, he didn't score any. UEFA Nations League competition, 3 goals. He has 15 goals in total. So he's leading them in the 24-25 season. I think last season probably still him. So we'll go back there. Osimhen didn't do that well last season. 23-24 is what we're looking at for Victor Boniface. 23-24 for Gyökeres. Yeah, 44 goals in total. He was on fire last season. 29 goals in the Portuguese league. Taca de Portugal. I don't know what competition that is. In the Europa League, he scored 5. Portuguese League Cup, he scored 3. International friendlies, he scored 1. 44 goals in total and 14 assists. That's high. He beat them hands down last season. For Victor Boniface, 22 goals in total, 23-24 season, 14 goals in the Bundesliga. That's not easy. DFL Super Cup 1, Europa League 5 goals in total, DFB Pokal 2 goals, 22 goals in total. Osimhen 17 goals still. Not bad. That's not a bad. And he was out for a while, right? Last season, Dante, wasn't he?
Yeah. They were out. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was
Um,
out.
I'm
Yeah.
back,
Go
bro.
ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah. Go
No,
ahead.
I'm just reminding I'm back. I had to go
Oh
somewhere.
yeah. We were asking. We were trying to get your thoughts on the argument that Santos he's gonna take Enzo Fernandez's place at Chelsea.
Uh, Very talented player. from the time he has went to Strasbourg, I think he is really a dominating figure in that midfield, and I think he leads the line for if you're talking about Strasbourg and the midfield. So very talented player, showing massive progress, and we all know, the young attributes that were joined to him, that he will be one of those big names coming in the future. And right now, I don't want to really make a heavy burden on him by words, but I think he's doing justifying what we heard about him at the young age. And yeah, there's a not really anything against him to say that he can't really shine or work for Chelsea. I think there's a space in that midfield uh, where we need someone who can calm the ball, dominate the ball, and keep control, especially in the later stages of the matches where we seems to lose quite a bit of control. And I see him as one of those players who can keep the possession and calm the ball really nicely. And again, I don't want to really reaffirm the argument that Enzo is a problem. I think he's a very good player. If you put him into a side like Real Madrid or even Barcelona, I don't know. I just imagine him working perfectly in those sides. It's just that it's just not clicking here at Chelsea all the time. He does have some good performances, but there are also some matches where he just isn't is not visible much and doesn't impact the game that much. Like against Brighton, he was really important. He was starting those attacks, moving the ball to the flanks as well, and connecting really well with Sancho and Palmer, and even to Madueke on the other flank as well. But then there is your games like Nottingham Forest where he did okay, I guess. I'm not going to say he was poor, but then again, you require your big players to turn up in those matches, and that is why there is some sort of criticism that is coming towards him. So it is not to say that he can replace Enzo, but I think he can still go. Santos can still go to the Chelsea midfield and be a part of it. I'm not going to say he will replace them from the get-go, but I think he will gradually improve our midfield, and maybe he can be a starter in the Premier League as well in
Are
the
they even
future.
do they even apply themselves on the pitch the same way? I think they're different.
Really different, and we will miss when you remove Enzo from the team. You miss creativity, the start of the attack. Whenever there is the opponent is pressing really nicely, and they are like man marking the players. I think you goes to Enzo, and you think of Enzo to make the long balls or the curve balls and find the runs of the player or forward players or the wingers, and that is the type of thing that no other midfielder is doing right now at Chelsea. So it is quite different. But then again, we lack the calmness and the keeping the ball, holding the possession, and he's a little bit of physical as well, Santos, in terms of his strength. So I think those are two different players, but and that is why I said that it's not a argument about replacing him. I think he can be an essential part of the group as well. So this is how I see being a part of that group rather than replacing anyone.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I think that's I don't know. Like I said, a lot of people see football on a surface level. And right now, I think Enzo, for me, I've said this 1,000 times, but I'm going to say it one more time. He's one of the manager's most important player. A lot of people don't see that, and lack of pace isn't really an issue. The manager, you could argue he's found a way to conduct that, or maybe mitigate that if that's an issue by inverting the left back from the left back position. That solves that problem, and Enzo can do his thing confidently. Sorry, I had to take care of something quickly at the door. So now, that's by the way. Let's look at Viktor Gyökeres. For 22-23, Osimhen outperformed them that year. Osimhen scored 42 goals in total. No need to break down where those goals were scored. And yeah, Victor Boniface scored 22 goals for 22-23 season. And I think that's what we're. Yep. and 60. He plays 60 games, more games than Osimhen. 22-23 in the championship. Gyökeres still managed to score 23 goals in total. Forget Dante's campaign against him. Let's see what else you have here. GFC, go big! Nice to see you, my brother. Hope you're doing well. Big up, guys, in the building. Please, guys, go check out Gavin's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. Let's help him continue to grow. Here we have the link to his YouTube channel. Please go check it out. Let's help him grow. So, Dante, you're paying attention. 23, yep, that's 22-23. Gyökeres in 55 games scored 23 goals in total, 21 in the championship, one in the FA Cup, UEFA Nations League 1. That's not bad return in the championship. So let's go 21-22. He managed 17 goals in 50 games. And Dante, are you still going to tell me he was okay? 17 goals isn't okay. I think that's good, honestly. And the 17 goals all in the championship also. Yeah. And let's go 20-21. Is he still in the championship? He played how many goals? 39, a little less. But you can see he's improving over time. He's getting better and better. Yeah, but go ahead. I'll be back in 1 second.
They're not spectacular numbers. The strikers, a lot of the strikers in the championship team, they all have the 20 goal mark around. They're all around those. They're all. Let's not forget they play a lot more games. So it's a 48 game season in the championship. So it is a lot more games. So you're going to have a little bit more goals as well. But that 20 goal is basically every team has a 20 goal guy in the championship because there's so many games they play. So they play plus 50 games. So, yeah, it's normal, good okay numbers. It's at a good, but it wasn't something like, something spectacular that, like he did something spectacular from all the others. No, there was a lot of them that did hit those numbers. So that's the only thing I was like I said, a lot of Portuguese guys were very surprised that they signed him because they're like, well, why are we signing this guy? Because championship, but he hasn't really. It's not like he stood out in the championship. It's not like anyone else wanted him. He didn't stand out in the championship. He did okay. He did good. One thing they did know that he will probably do well in the Portuguese league because of his physicality and this type of striker he is. So they knew he was probably going to do pretty well okay there, but they were still like, why are we really signing him? But hey, it was a masterstroke in the end. The scouts got it right, as they usually do. The Portuguese scouts are very good at picking up talents. And let's not forget, he was also in the second part of his career, coach. He wasn't not that young. So normally when you sign those players, you sign them young, to fulfill the potential to become that. But he was already, 24, already at that age where you're just about hitting your best, right? Your best, 24 to 28. That's 25 to 28. Those 3 years there, 4 years there, that's your peak. So yeah, he was already at that age. So that was another little thing. But yeah, he's proving everyone wrong, and it's good to see. Like I just said, I want to see this season. This is the season I want to see it because he's playing, and then they are in the Champions League as well. They're not just, I think, in the Euro. Are they? I think they're in the Champions League this season, if I remember right.
Yeah, they are, and he scored one goal.
So he didn't play in that yet. This is his first time in that. So he hasn't played in that level at that level yet. So this season he's going to play there. So we're going to see more. And that's why I said I want to see a little bit more this season of him playing.
To give it up. The kid is good. Look in 13 games
he
scored 15 goals
good.
in total.
He's very good. He's very good. He's one of the best strikers in the at the moment in the world.
In the world, yeah. But I know you want to see him do it consistently more and not just in 2 seasons.
26, 27, 26. He's not a kid anymore. He's in his prime now. He's not a kid anymore. So, yeah, this is it. And he'll be very expensive, especially if he does it this season, and he's already is. But if he does it in the Champions League as well, and shows that he can, play well in those games as well against the better the opposition as well, then yeah, 100%, he's gonna, he's gonna demand that big price tag. But we'll see who's gonna pay it, and if anyone will pay that for him.
My goodness, his shot accuracy is crazy. 70.83, and he scored in every 2.67 shots. Jay, I don't know anything else you want to say. I don't think there's anything else to talk about. Not too much news items out there to discuss. That's why you don't see a lot of people on one other big account yet. So until we become a big can when there's no news, not too many players interested in what we have to talk about. But Jay, anything else you want to talk about?
No, coach. I think we're pretty much done. Just by the way, information. I think Ten Hag is here to stay. He will continue. So yeah, yay,
Ooh,
good news.
congratulations to us, not even to them.
Yeah, I was praying.
Interesting. I think probably that there aren't too many options out there for them. That's probably most likely the reason why he's still there.
Pretty
And
much.
Hmm.
yeah, there aren't too many options out there ready to take that job. That's how I see it. So yeah, seriously, congratulations to us, and the fans will be fuming because excuse me, you hardly see a United fan that wants him to continue.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
already a meltdown.
yeah. So yeah,
They want him out. Most of them already want him out 100%. But
yeah.
look,
Yeah.
he started the same last season, to be honest. He started the same. Um,
Uh,
got a little
I
bit
mean,
better then and then dropped away at the end, but they did win the cup and he's won something every year. So that's, he's at least won something for them. But
yeah.
yeah, I hope he stays as well. Yeah, we need him to stay a bit longer there.
Statistically, he has done even worse. He has beaten his own record from
Yeah, by
last
1
year.
point. Yeah, by 1 point.
Yeah, by 1 point.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Ken, no matter for saying we might need a striker, I'm afraid of Nkunku being on international break or someone. Okay, the last time Nkunku went for international duty, he was he ended up at the hospital. Got injured during the training session. I think that was before the World Cup. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was, yeah, before the World Cup. But despite what I want to say, thank you again. Even though the views will be low for a while like this, will continue to come on. This was actually designed to be a calling show until people understand that maybe we need to promote it even better. Where you come and get a minute or two to express yourself on how you feel about where we're at after week seven in the current season. But that's by the way. Thank you, Namaya Fawale. Thank you, GFC Government. Thank you to thank God Igwe. Thank you, Wanda Darling. Thank you, AB. Thank you, Kishan, my New York bro. And thank you to the captain of the house, Dante, who's on the panel with me here. And also thank you to Jay. No longer Jay, the 2 a.m. guy, but Jay. Our guy, I appreciate you all. I cannot thank you guys enough for finding the time to be with me on the panel and ensure that we present the viewers with diversified opinions and not just mine. So thank you. If I miss your name, apologies. See you all next time. God bless us all and cheers.
Pick up.
thanks, guys. Take care.
Ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. veins, I've been driving this train.